Yes guys, how's it going? Welcome back to a new video, an exciting one today as everyone is officially on Tonali watch. Where is he? What's he doing? Has he arrived at the training ground? Has he arrived at St James's Park? Italy under-21s were knocked out of the Euros under-21s tournament last night. They lost against Norway, which was not expected. And look, it would have been nice to see Tonali win, see how far he could get in the tournament, but because of that, it means he will be arriving at Newcastle that little bit earlier and get the contract signed that little bit sooner, or I should say announced that little bit sooner. It's understood that things are all agreed, everything's done. There's a few final bits that need to be completed, but for us as Newcastle fans, just want to see it announced, just want to see him in the stadium wearing that black and white shirt, and we can talk a little bit about what players we hope to see coming in next. So we'll talk a little bit about Tonali. I also want to talk a little bit about Szoboszlai. It's being reported that it could well be Newcastle's last chance tonight, tomorrow, to sign the player due to the fact that his release clause finishes tomorrow. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that, whether it will be good or bad, or would it potentially even be a good thing to not release it and basically allow us to go in at a cheaper price? Or is that playing with fire when Liverpool are already heavily linked as well? Or is it a smokescreen? Could Newcastle actually be using the Szoboszlai links to go undercover and pick a different player? So I'll talk a little bit about that. I've got a little bit on Livramento as well. He is thought to still be very high in the priority on Newcastle's list of players to sign. And we've got some news on friendlies coming up. So let's start with that one. It's understood that Newcastle owners could well hope to see Saudi Arabia make the trip to St James's Park. That's right, we've seen Newcastle United themselves and the players head out to Saudi Arabia on, I guess, training camps, warm weather breaks, where they've had the opportunity to meet some of the owners, meet some of the fans over in Saudi Arabia. We've seen the great kind of fan parks and fan zones they've had on over there, which is why it's quite exciting to see what Newcastle might do outside of St James's Park, because, as I say, Seller, the new sponsor, they are like basically a big events company. So you've got to imagine they'll want to put on something pretty fun outside of St James's Park. But yeah, it's actually being rumoured that it will be the other way around. During the, I think, September international break, it's thought that they are hoping to maybe have Saudi Arabia actually come to St James's Park and play an international game of football there. So you let me know your thoughts on that one down below. Obviously, St James's Park has hosted a few international games over the years. I remember many years ago, I went to watch Brazil play at St James's Park. Got me unintentionally have my Brazil colours on today. Neymar scored a pen. I think it was in the Olympics actually. But yeah, it was good fun. So let me know your thoughts on that one down below. And well, I was going to say closer to home. It's the same stadium, but it's also thought Newcastle are starting to get a bit of organisation in terms of friendlies at St James's Park before we head into the new season. Now, we know that we have Rangers coming up. We've got a game against Rangers up in Glasgow as a friendly. We have the game over the river at the Gateshead Stadium coming up very soon as well. We then see Newcastle head off to America for a pre-season camp out there, and then it's understood Newcastle, as we do most years, are hoping to have a friendly at St James's Park. Last year, we bumped it up from one friendly to two. We played 2 games in a row in 2 days at St James's Park, where Eddie Howe pretty much like halved the team. I think it was the first week in August in preparation for the Premier League starting the second week in August. Well, it looks like they're trying to go one better this time, as it's rumoured Newcastle want to do the Seller Cup, so the new sponsor of Newcastle's shirts, the Seller Cup, and have Fiorentina, Nice and Villarreal all involved. So will that be a single day of round-robin 30-minute games or something where everyone can play, or will it be across 2 days? Or could they actually do Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night? I mean, that would be insane. St James's Park, 3 days in a row. I mean, 2 days in a row. Last time was crazy and pretty much sold the stadium out as well because everyone's desperate to get in there. Could we do it 3 days in a row? Could we sell out 3 days in a row? Should they, and you guys let me know down below, use it as an opportunity to everyone can try and have a ticket. Because I remember last time there was question marks on could you buy one, could you buy two? And look, I'm going to be totally honest, if I could buy three, I would go to all three. But I also understand the idea that maybe we could do like everyone could have a chance to actually get to the game. So you let me know your thoughts on that one down below. But as I say, that is still a few months away now. What is going on right now is everyone, as I say, binoculars out. Has Tonali walked into St James's Park yet? Sky Sports reported that Tonali was set to make the journey back from the Euros under-21s to Newcastle to get his deal confirmed. It was understood that he could well stay out there till the end of the tournament, depending on how far Italy went. It was then thought that he could still stay out there as part of, you know, he's gone over there, stay out there for the rest of the tournament. Could he maybe even go on holiday for a week? And everyone's going, no, just get him in the ground, do the medical and get it signed. Well, it's reported by Sky Sports that he's thought to be journeying from Romania, where the tournament's being held, to Newcastle/St James's Park tonight/tomorrow, with the thought on an announcement to be done by Saturday. And then you'd imagine, get him in, get it signed, get it done, and then he can go off and have himself a bit of a break. We've had this happen in the past before with players who, rather than going away, having their break, and then coming and signing, they've come in first, done the signing, made sure it was all done, and then relax, because it must be on Tonali's mind as well. Even if he's sat on the beach having a relax in the sun, he must still have it in the back of his head. I hope this all gets sorted fine. You know, why not just come in, and it's not like he's not getting flown over on a private jet from the Newcastle owners anyway, so, you know, so it's not like he's having to jump on the, you know, on the bus up the A1, like, throughout he's going to get flown in style, he's going to arrive, he's going to get it hopefully done quite quickly, and then, as I say, we look forward to hopefully seeing some Tonali in a black and white shirt photos very, very soon this weekend. And as I say, things that are counting down, watching out for Tonali. Well, it's being reported at the moment that Szoboszlai's release clause is set to finish tomorrow. Now, this is a player that Newcastle have been heavily linked with throughout the whole of this window. It was a lot of people were in the Maddison boat or the Szoboszlai boat, and do you want one? Do you want both? Was actually the talk for quite a long time. We got Tonali in, and then it became the Maddison or Szoboszlai. Maddison has gone and signed for Spurs, and now everyone's attention is on the Red Bull Leipzig midfielder as the player that a lot of people want to see come in. Now, not only does his release clause end tomorrow, but it's understood that Liverpool representatives are also in talks with the player, and it's becoming a bit of a crunch moment of tonight, tomorrow, could someone actually activate this release clause and get it done? Sky Sports were talking about this earlier on today, and the understanding is if the release clause is not met, it's fine. You can still go in through the rest of the summer. You can talk to the player. You can talk to Red Bull Leipzig about fees, fee structures. But as soon as that minute happens, as soon as the clock strikes 12 tomorrow, you can't just go, right, here's the money, he's ours now. Now you've got to then get into this, right, how much do you want? And the thing is, it's thought that one reason Newcastle aren't hitting that release clause is because as part of it, it needs to be a payment up front. If Newcastle were to not hit the release clause, but then go in the next day and go, well, we'll offer you 50 million, but we'll give you 30 now and 10 later, and it could potentially become a bit of that. Not that I know Red Bull Leipzig would even do that. And if the release clause isn't met, they could turn around and go, you know what, actually, we don't want to sell them anyway, so screw it. But I had quite an interesting conversation last night with good mate Andrew Neelan. In fact, I was with Adam P last night and a mate of ours, Liam, as well. We went to go see Shay Given do a talk at the Junction up at the Haymarket, which was great fun. Got to meet Shay Given, got a few photos, had a bit of a chat as well. He was quite a good laugh. Earlier on when I mentioned about Tonali driving up the A1, Shay Given actually spoke about that last night, where he said that, you know, back in the old days, it wasn't a train here and a plane there. It was buses up and down the A1 every night, stopping off at the service stops to get fish and chips, because that's what they would have after every game. So, yeah, it was good fun, good old Shay. But Andy mentioned a point on the fact that Tonali came in so under the radar. Barella was the one. Barella was the player that everyone would thought. And while all that talk was going on, Tonali just walked in the back door over there. Could it be something similar with Szoboszlai? There's so much talk of what's happening with him and what is the update. And look, he's a fantastic player. And part of me does hope that we just go and just do the release clause, you know, and just go screw it. And that's our 2 midfielders sorted, and we can talk about the right-back situation with you guys in a moment. But I understand his concept as well, is that while all that's going on, all of a sudden there's another midfielder that maybe we haven't talked as much about who's on his way in through the door as well. So you let me know your thoughts on the Szoboszlai situation. Would you like us to go out there and do it? Do you think that it's sensible that we are waiting and we can try and structure the deals according to us? Don't give in to the release clause pressure. We can come in a little bit later and we can talk about it in more detail, and we can do the deal that works for us. Is Liverpool's want for him a worry, or are we the team with Champions League and we're the team? However, he did actually say in an interview, from the words from his mouth were that he would love to work with some managers like Jurgen Klopp. So that is something that Liverpool has for them. And you know, I think Liverpool have already proven a bit of a point this summer window as well with the signing of McAllister. They aren't slowing down and they want to come back with a bang. But that's also why we need to make sure we are strengthening our team as well. A little bit on Livermento before I go now. That's the right backs from Southampton, the youngster who joined from Chelsea on quite a low fee at the time. I think it was like £7 or £8 million. He got to Southampton, looked great, really good player. I remember I had him in my fantasy team. I think a lot of people did, because he was like a £4 million right back that got a game every game and was really good and caught a lot of attention. Trouble is, however, he had his ACL injury and was injured for over a year, which isn't going to help. He came back from injury just at the end of the window, and it's understood that he is a priority for Eddie Howe in this window to look at backup in the right back position. We'll talk about firstly about, is it priority? And you can let me know down below. To come off the back of this, it's understood that Manquillo has actually been told that he can leave on a free this summer. He is free to go and do what he wants because he's not part of the plans. Emil Crafty's agent has come out and said that they are in, well, sorry, what was the words? I think they said they are going to take their time and decide on a decision. Obviously, Kraft's been injured. I'm sure he would probably want to stay at the club. But it looks like he may well have been shown an option of the door as well. So that's 2 players. Harrison Ashby is heavily linked with a loan move to Leeds. So with all of that going on, does that validate the move for Livermento even more? Trippier number 1, Livermento, young, Premier League proven, clearly a talented guy who could also come in. I'm slightly disappointed that Ashby hasn't been given the chance, but you can only imagine that maybe he wasn't at the levels Eddie Howe hoped he would be when he came in. To not get a game and now be loaning him out so soon is slightly surprising. But, you know, Crafty and Manquillo, I think, did well. Good for. I mean, Manquillo was on a free. You know, we didn't pay for Manquillo. He's come in, he's played right back or left back. I think he was a first choice right back for some time. I think Kraft was never up to great shakes for some time, and then turned it around and started doing well, and I think everyone enjoyed that. And he do hold loyalty to some players, and I think it is harsh to let them go for, you know, if there wasn't any great need to. But you can see what Eddie Howe's trying to do. He's trying to move out a couple of players whose contracts aren't all there anymore, and maybe bring in someone who's promising. The trouble with the Livermento one is, and it was rumoured the fee would be around 12-15 million, which, you know, in this world isn't too bad. I mean, the fact that we paid the same for Trippier, you know, Trippier's probably worth it a little bit more than Livermento, but still, it's a good fee. The trouble is, however, not only did Chelsea have a buyback clause, so if they wanted to, they could step in and they could go, actually, we want him, which I don't think they will. But it's also said that Chelsea have a sell-on fee clause, so they will get partial payment of whatever we pay for Livermento, and it's not they will get 10%. It's like a sliding scale, and if we were to pay 15 million, pretty much half of that would go to Chelsea, and Southampton want 15 million. So for Southampton to get the 15 million they want, Newcastle will actually have to pay closer to 25-30 million, which is when it suddenly doesn't sound like quite the same deal anymore. So yeah, I think if it worked out that way and Harrison Ashby kind of became the 3rd choice option, Livermento came in as 2 and Trippier came in, it was number 1. I think that lineup of 3 players, I would say, has got more quality in it than Trippier, Kraft, Manquillo, Ashby. So you can see why it's happening. I think it is strengthening a position, but I think more than anything, is it a priority position? Because I think we've got millions of right backs. I suppose the question mark is, if Trippier got injured, could any of Manquillo, Kraft or Ashby play in a Champions League match and be good? You can let me know down below if you think they are. It's tough to say because we haven't seen them play in so long. I think what Eddie Howe is thinking is that if Trippier got injured, Livramento is good enough to play Premier League or Champions League football. And if that's the reasoning, you can see why he's doing it. Alright guys, thanks for watching the video. As always, let me know your thoughts on Livramento. It's an interesting one there. Let me know your thoughts on Szoboszlai. Is it something that you want to see Newcastle activate quick? Or are you happy to play the waiting game a little longer? Or is it something that's quite loud over here, while actually Newcastle are working on something a little bit quieter? Do you think Tonali will be spotted in Newcastle tonight? I'm out in town later. Who knows? Maybe I'll see him on the big market. So if I do, I'll get a picture and I'll send it through for you guys. So be sure to subscribe. So when I bump into Tonali at the pub later, I can do a video with him and send it on to you guys. Hit the big red button. It's free to do, so it costs you nothing. As I say, loads going on with Newcastle at the moment, so let me know your thoughts on everything discussed today down below. The friendlies, the tickets. Will you try and get to a game if you can? Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.